My man, how we doing?
Good.
Are you competing today?
Yes, I'm doing the juvenile blue gi. So
Gee, awesome.
yeah,
Well, before we get too into this, tell the people your name, what city and school you represent.
I'm Tristan Caballero. From San Antonio. I represent the exception squad under my brother Jared Caballero.
Now, you won all world championships, right? Killed it. And in this jiu-jitsu community of AGF, at least, and outside of AGF, of course, in your local state competition scene, Tristan is definitely known for sure. Savage green belt. How old are you now?
14.
14. So he's knocking on the door of the adult divisions. And his brother, JR Caballero, is our Nogi Pro champion a couple times, actually. And just received his black belt and opened a school and is teaching. I assume you're helping him teach?
Yeah,
Helping with the kids?
Yeah, I'm helping the kids. I help with the adults sometimes, so I'm just helping out right now. And
Yeah.
my goal in the future is to have my own gym.
Is it? Yeah. Are you homeschooled?
Yes.
Yeah, you are. Okay, so I was wondering the structure there on how you guys work that and stuff. So you knock out some school, you train.
Yep. So I wake up, I do my school, then I go work out, and then we head straight to the gym, and then we just train from 2 to 9 p.m.
For a while when I was watching you and JR, you guys were hitting CrossFit. You still do a lot of CrossFit? Is that what the gym is?
Yeah, that's how I get my cardio in. That's how I'm able to push the pace a lot. That's how we're able to break people mentally. It's just putting the pressure on them.
Nice. And so CrossFit's a certain specific style of working out, you know. Have you tried kettlebells or straight gyms and bench presses and stuff like that?
Yeah, so I've done just like regular weightlifting, but it wasn't for me. I did it for a while, and then I had a match, and then I burnt out in the match, so it wasn't a good choice. So I'm just sticking with CrossFit.
Like CrossFit, a little bit more functional,
Yeah,
blowing the cardio more.
Yeah, high intensity.
That's cool that you guys are still hitting that. So you guys are, when I say you guys to the camera, you and your brother, I know the most. Of course, I know your students and the people and your dad and all that kind of stuff, but I'm saying you and your brother are really big drillers and positional fighters. And for some of the folks who don't know, their coach originally is my second black belt. So I've known them outside of AGF as well too. And talking like the most dedicated family I think I've ever met in jiu-jitsu. Colabati was another one I talked in the last interview. Both those families out of San Antonio. I don't know what it is in San Antonio, but so you're 14, you go to CrossFit, you do jiu-jitsu, your brother just got his black belt, he's super young, you guys opened up a gym, you're teaching, you're doing things at a fast pace, but you're also doing them great. Walk them through a normal day of what your life is like. Also because this is different than Europe. You know me, you know AGF, we go to Europe a lot. There's a big difference between other countries and stuff. And I don't think that they're quite used to hearing what the kids in America being so dedicated do. So explain, your food, your exercise, your rest,
So I get up, I do my school, and then after that, I like to go to CrossFit to get my cardio in so I can build my strength, build my stamina, so I can have all this cardio for jiu-jitsu, have all this strength. And then after that, I like to go to the gym, and then we're there. We drill from like 2 to 3. And then right after that, during our breaks, I like to study during our breaks. So I study for a while, we drill again, and we just keep training throughout the day. Still studying too, so.
Do you on a specific diet plan?
Nah.
Do you eat bad or pretty clean?
I in the middle.
I mean, San Antonio's got the best taco trucks in the whole freaking state, so I wouldn't blame you, right?
Yeah.
But so how do you, now I know how you guys trained when you were underneath Donnie, right? How do you and your brother train now that you're at Exception? Do you guys still do a high amount of drilling? Do you do a lot of video study? Where are you at on that stuff?
Yeah, so we get about like 40 minutes of drilling per class, sometimes like 50, but we try to drill a lot, and then we roll for maybe 6 rounds, so getting a lot of good training in.
Yeah, you do positional fighting?
Yeah, so we do a lot of positional, we do a lot of wrestling, just a lot of everything, just to try to really improve our game.
Knowing you guys, knowing Donnie, and obviously that's how I train, right? That's how I teach. The positional fighting, I think, is one of the biggest keys. A lot of people don't do it. Traveling the world a lot and going to other gyms, you'll see a typical format of warm up, check out these couple techniques, and then we just roll, right?
Yeah.
And the positional fighting, I think that you guys do is a massive difference.
Yeah, it's a big difference. You're not used to getting put in those spots. So once you're in there and you start to defend, you realize like, oh, I need to work this. So you start working it, and then you build that game up so no one could like catch you in it. So it's definitely really good for your game.
You guys are super on the attack, right? Of course, we all need defense in jiu-jitsu, but I'm ex-military. Donnie Blue's ex-military, so I think that that's kind of our gravity. And we thought a lot about the fight when we teach jiu-jitsu. So I think that that's kind of what made you guys end up being like that. And then you guys took it to a whole nother level with the sport as well. And you guys are on the attack, though. Why do you think you're on the attack so much?
So we like to stay on the hunt, just, to try to get the finish, try to get as fast as we can. But we also been, just trying to stay on top, try to make our opponents tired, so we can get the finish easier, Just try to stay on the attack the whole time to where, like, they just can't even defend anymore.
Do you have a game plan when you go to compete, or are you just going with the flow?
Most of the time I'm just going with the flow, but if I know who I'm fighting, I'll look them up, or I'll just, I'll know who they are, and I'll know their game. But usually I don't really, like, have to do that. I just go in there. If I want to wrestle, I'll wrestle. If I want to pull, I'll pull. But it's usually just me filling them out and seeing what they're going to do.
Yeah.
And I like to attack, so.
Yeah. And then people change so much at your age.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to, at the black belt level, guys are so fixed in their habits and games that it's hard to see a completely different person. But as kids go through the ranks and are learning jiu-jitsu and new things, and one could be on guard for a long time, could be on back takes for a long time. So it is good to do. So another thing that we were talking about earlier with a couple of the other interviews was nerves, right? We all get nerves, even the highest level competitors. But sometimes they tend to go away or they do go away. Sometimes in the pit, sometimes when you clap hands and about to grapple, sometimes when you clinch, sometimes when you hit the ground. Do you know where your nerves go away?
So usually I don't get too nervous, but like if I do, I usually feel better like after my first match. I'll go in there, fight, sometimes I'll win, sometimes I'll lose, but either way, my nerves go away. So that's what helps me. But I don't get too nervous anymore. I had like a mental block a while back to where like I was just putting so much pressure on myself to where like I wasn't competing to my best. But now that I finally got past that, I've been doing a lot better.
What was the mental block, you think?
So it was just myself putting pressure like on me. Like if I wasn't like gonna win, like I would be like upset with my parents would be upset at me or something like that. So I just had that in my own head. So whenever I would go and compete, like I was just it was
self pressure.
Yeah.
And then you have a lot and you're shining on your own. You're doing great. And of course, a lot of people, because of JR, talk about JR when they're around you and stuff like that, because he was the older brother to come up first. But you're your own man doing your own thing. And he's probably your best training partner, right? And so do you have aspirations? What are your aspirations? I've talked to JR about his aspirations. You said you wanted to own a gym, but obviously you want to be a black belt. Are you trying to be the best in the world? Are you trying to win a bunch of money? What's Tristan's goal here?
So my goal is to like go to ACC and at least place. The goal is to win, but at least place, and then maybe like once I'm older, I want to start transitioning to MMA. So yeah, I'm a big fan of MMA, so that'll be cool to try.
Does JR want to fight, or does he just want to do jiu-jitsu?
I'm not too sure, honestly. I think he might just stick with jiu-jitsu, but I've been a fan for MMA for a while, and I've been thinking about like transitioning later on. So
have you started striking at all?
Not really, but one of my friends, he does Muay Thai a lot. He's pretty good, so I know he'll definitely help me, like if I want to. But
for sure, that's cool to hear.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cool thing. And so now I've noticed you got little sisters coming into the game, right? I had one compete for the first time today.
Yep.
How many Caballero Jiu-Jitsu competitors we got going on in the family?
We got 4 right now. We got
4?
me, we got JR, and then we have my 2 little sisters.
And are your sisters absolutely loving it, or are they doing jiu-jitsu because you guys are doing it?
So they started out just doing it just like kind of for fun, but the older one, Mila, she's gonna be really good. I can tell, she has a lot of potential. She's like really advanced. She's catching a lot of people in like some weird angles. So it's cool to see. But
nice.
The youngest one, she's like still only like getting into it, but
yeah,
hopefully
that's cool, man. And so you're in the middle. So you get the big brother to train with, and the little sisters to inspire, and you got the girl boy difference and all that kind of that's good stuff. And I know your dad fully supports. You know, I've known your dad for a long time, driving everywhere, from finances to everything, right? Man, what is it? You guys are all quiet. This is the most I've gotten any Caballero to ever talk, right? What is it that your dad does in the background? Is your dad push you guys? Is it quiet talks? How's it go with that?
So he likes to push us a lot. You know, he wants us to be as best as we can. He doesn't want us to just be like just be there, just be lazy, because you're not gonna get anywhere like that. So he's always pushing us to be better. He's always like telling us like, hey, you gotta go work out, or like, hey, you're weak, or like stuff like that. Just trying to push us. And of course he has like those talks with us to get our minds right, before our comps. But yeah, he's always pushing us. He's always helping us with everything. So I really appreciate my dad and all he's done for us. So
yeah, well, he's got to have something to motivate you guys, because you guys are studs. And then you also train a lot, drill a lot. And when I say drill a lot, guys, like his brother sent me a video of like 1,000 reps one time, and I'm not even kidding you. Like I was like, I'm not gonna watch this for an hour and 45 minutes. Like, I believe you. So some of the most drillingest people I've ever met, especially at the beginning. Man. But excellent news with the gym, going everything, and teaching classes you guys out of San Antonio, the Exception Squad. Got any last remarks or anything you want to say, or shout outs, sponsors?
Yep, I like to shout out my team, the Exception Squad. You can find us on Instagram. I like to shout out my dad, of course. I appreciate him for everything he does. And if you want to check us out on Instagram, you can follow my brother, JR by Sub, and I'm Sweet209. So if you want to check us out, we're on Instagram.
Rock and roll. We'll put the links underneath in the description. All right, man. Nudge me before you compete, okay? So I can watch and we can try and get a camera on it.
I will.
All right, buddy.